Okay, so today we're talking college recruiting. I'm going to give you some tips. Big tip here, big no-no. Make sure you don't do this. And it's don't burn bridges in the recruiting process. What do I mean by don't burn bridges? So really two things. The first thing is when a college coach calls you, texts you, emails you, shows interest, don't just not answer because you don't think you're interested. What I see happen a lot is players think that they're going to play at a really high level school. Let's just pick Boston College. I always like to pick our local schools. Boston College, right? I want to play at Boston College, but they get a call or a text from a coach that coaches at a lower level school. Let's say a Division III program, or really any level under Boston College in the mind of that player. And so they don't answer. They don't say, thank you, coach, I'm not interested, or they really just don't say anything. So they just don't answer at all. They completely disregard the call, the text, the email. Okay, so that would be one example of burning a bridge. Another example would be just saying no right off the bat because in your mind, again, that level of play is lower than what you expect to play at. Right? You think you can play at Boston College. You think the school isn't that great athletically. And so you just say, oh, sorry, coach, not interested. And you just make up a reason. Okay? Those are two examples of burning bridges. I see it happen all the time. So first, let's talk about why it's not a good idea to do either one of those things, either non-answer or just say no right off the bat. First thing is, and we've talked about this a bunch, is that it's very difficult to play college baseball. Less than 10%, less than probably 8% of high school players play college baseball. Most players evaluate themselves or think that they're going to play at a higher level that they end up playing at. And so you do not want to say no or not answer a school, especially early in the process, because you think that you're better than that school. You think you're going to play at a higher level, because down the road, that might end up being the best fit for you. So let me give you a quick example again using Boston College. Players will say, let's say they really want to go to Boston College or they really want to go to the ACC, what in their mind is a top level school, and let's say a school like Endicott. I'm going to use a school like Endicott. If you're not from this part of the country, maybe you don't know Endicott, although they are very, very, very good. Okay, so keep that in mind. You should be interested in Endicott, a lot of players. But Endicott has great baseball, right? But a player might think they get a call or a text from Coach Haley over at Endicott, and they say, well, I'm going to BC. I'm not going to go to Endicott. Not realizing that Endicott is a great program, and you have to be a really, really good player to play at Endicott. Right? But in this player's mind, they think they're going to Boston College. And so they either say no to Coach Haley right away, no, sorry, coach, not interested, or they just don't answer. Now we fast forward 3-4 months down the line, and what do you know? Boston College isn't interested because the player either got bad information from someone, a coach, a parent, a friend, someone saying that they could play at that level, or they just don't understand. They don't understand the process. They're not really sure. They evaluated themselves improperly. And regardless, they don't ever hear from an ACC school. They don't hear from Boston College because that's not the level they should be playing at, right? But guess what? Endicott is a great level for them to play at. And that actually is supposed to be where they should end up. But because they burnt the bridge with Endicott so early and said no or didn't answer, well, now 3-4 months later, when Endicott would be a great fit for that player, Endicott is no longer on that player's list. If they had taken the call or text or email seriously at the beginning of the process and talked to Coach Haley and said, Coach, right now I'm really open to a bunch of different schools, but I'd love to learn more about your program. Well, now doesn't mean you have to commit to Endicott during that first call or email or text, but at least that door is open. And now you can see how the process plays out. And down the road, Endicott would still be available. But typically, once you say no or you don't answer, Endicott's not waiting around for you. And even if 3-4 months down the road, you do come back and say, oh man, I messed up. Hey, Endicott, please, please, please take me. A lot of time coaches will say, well, we've moved on to somebody else, right? Because they want people that want to be in their program. And so I've seen this happen far, 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 far too many times. So make sure that you're not one of those people that does that. So that's one reason why you can't burn bridges. The other reason why is, even, let's keep that same example, okay? Let's talk about Endicott again with Coach Haley there. Even if you don't end up going to Endicott, right? You know what could happen? A couple things could happen. Coach Haley might know a coach at Boston College or a coach at some other school that you're interested in. And he may talk to that coach about you, right? And so you don't want people to say anything bad about you, right? So you, in my opinion, you be respectful, you answer everyone, because you don't know who that coach knows. The second thing is, you don't know if that coach, let's say Coach Haley again, what if he ends up coaching somewhere else down the line? Coaches change places all the time. Coaches coach at all different schools. If you're following it right now, there's lots of coaches being fired and hired all over the country. And so you might end up telling Coach Haley, Endicott stinks and I would never play there, right? Hopefully you don't burn the bridge in that way. But some players do. Some players are like, no thanks, coach. They don't even say no thanks. They're just like, nope, not interested, okay? Well, now coach is coaching someplace else, which you really like. Do you think coach is going to recruit you there? Probably not. He already had a bad experience with you 3-4 months earlier. All right, so you never know who coaches know and who they talk to, and you never know where coaches may be coaching down the line. And so that's why it is very, very important to never burn bridges. So what do you do instead? Again, couple of tips. First thing is answer everyone, okay? Even if you are not interested. Now, if it's a school that you're pretty sure you're not going to be interested in, it doesn't mean you have to say, yes, coach, I love your school and I really want to go there. But I would always keep as many doors open as possible. And the easiest thing to say is, thank you so much for the information, coach. And you can ask to learn more about the school. But even if you don't, you can say that your search is still very open. It's still early in the process for you, and you're still exploring a lot of options. But you will definitely keep whatever school that wrote to you or emailed you or texted you in mind. And that is as simple as it has to be. Now, if it's a school, let's say that it is a school in Oregon, and you're just, you're like, I would never, ever go to school in Oregon. I just would never do it. Then you can let the coach know that. But that would be really the only time I would really say no. I would never say no based on your athletic ability. If you're doing it just because you're like, well, I'm too good for that school, so I would never play there, don't do that, okay? If you're doing it because of the part of the country it's in, maybe you've decided I only want to go to school at huge schools and this is way too small of a school. If that's the reason why, fine. You can say that to the coach. Coach, I'm looking at a bigger school. But never let it be because of how you view them athletically, because that is very difficult for most players to understand how good they are and where they fit. And you don't want to burn any bridges based on your athletic ability. So hopefully that all makes sense. Let me know if you have any questions in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, give it a thumbs up, all that good stuff. We'll talk to you later. If you've got hitters that you're looking to improve before the start of next season, this is essential for you. Matt Antonelli here, former Major League player, first-round pick, and college coach. With this course, we're going to show you exactly, step-by-step, how to generate power, develop bat speed, and enhance swing mechanics. Regardless of your hitter's age, this course is going to deliver advanced hitting techniques that will allow any hitter to get better and make an impact at the plate this spring. We have a full catalog of training content that you can access from anywhere at any time. This course is perfect for players, parents, coaches, instructors, and more. It offers a comprehensive package of drills and techniques that you can directly implement. Our course has helped hitters all over the country at different competition levels, and the feedback that we've received has been outstanding. The work you put in now will drive your success at the plate this spring. Get the essential knowledge that you need to take your game to the next level.